Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
Today we're taking a look at My Lil Everdell, which was released. It's one of the few games that's released as a surprise.
Right, yeah.
They're like, here's the game, it's out.
Just showed up one
At
day,
PAX.
right?
There you go. You can go get it.
People tend to like that sort of thing. This game... Okay, so... Well, I'm trying to explain... I'm trying to look and see what they're explaining the game as. It says, familiar gameplay from the award-winning game Everdell, right? And in fact, there are 8 bonus cards in here for Everdell, forcing you to buy this. It doesn't say on here, you know, like the description is you are playing the kids of Everdell, blah, blah, blah. Then it says perfect for kids and families. It says 6+ here. So I was like, oh, this is Kids Everdell. Well, let's go over the rules and I'll let you decide for yourself. Lil Everdell takes place over 4 rounds. At the beginning of each round, you're going to roll dice, which have various resources on them, and place them in these 4 spots. Each person has a home board, and they're going to have 3 characters that are different colors and different shapes here. And at the beginning of a turn, if you have any... At the beginning of a round, if you have any green card that shows this symbol here, you get whatever's on it. So this would give me 1 berry at the beginning of a round. Once you've done that, you start taking turns with whoever has the sun token, and you're going to place one of your friends on a location on the board to take that action. There are 7 places to place workers. Only 1 person can put a friend here, and if you go there, you just get whatever it says on a die. So here I would get 1 of each resource. 2 wood, 2 amber, or a resource of my choice, and a victory point. Now, you can also go up here, but multiple people can go to these spots, and that simply just gives you 1 of that resource. I have some little clear bins here because the game actually comes with these, which no human adult can get their fingers inside these to pull them out, so we've stopped using those. But after you place this, you may then, the game says, play a card, which means you can acquire one of the cards that's below the board. Each card has a certain cost at the top of it. You pay that cost, you put that card in front of you. Now, green cards, I already mentioned a green card activates at the beginning of each round, but it also activates when you play it. Blue cards activate when you do something. Like this one says, after you play one of these colors, you get a victory point. Tan cards activate when you play them. So this feast here gives me 2 berries, this tan card, and then I'm done. This air balloon says move one of your friends and activate the new location. Red cards give you more spots to put friends. So you can see this one here gives me 2 berries. This one gives me 2 amber when I go to those spots. And then purple cards, these cards just give you victory points at the end of the game. So this prince here will give you 1 victory point for each blue person I have at the end of the game. After you take one of these cards, you also have the opportunity to get a parade. There are 4 different parades, and if you accomplish the goal, so this one says if you have 5 cards with this house symbol on them, if you have 5 cards with the mouse symbol on them, if you have 3 of any of the color cards, or if you have 1 of everyone, you take the top parade, which is worth 6 points. And then 5 points, 4 points, and 3 points. You can only get each parade once. At the end of a round, you will basically pass this sun token to the next player. You'll start again, and you'll roll the dice, take your workers back, and after 4 rounds, the game's over. Your leftover resources, every 2 resources turns into a victory point. You add up the victory points for purple cards. And so, you know, I already showed you the prince, but there's a few other, like this zip line gives you a point for every tan card. And the points for the parades that you've done, also points that you may have collected during the game. And whoever has the most points is the winner. This is Everdell Light.
I think you keep calling it.
I call it Everdell Express. I don't even know that I'd call it. I don't even know that I'd call it Everdell Light. It's Everdell Express. If you want the Everdell feeling of game in a 20-minute play session.
And it does feel like Everdell. In fact, because I decided to play Everdell for the first time. I hadn't until
you
just
had it.
recently.
Post this or pre?
I think just before that, on the flight
Okay.
out to PAX where this was released, I played the app for the first time. I was like, it's about darn time.
Oh, got it.
So I went from that to.
What did you think of Everdell?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. We'll maybe do a Catch-A-Palooza or something on it. You know, it's pleasant. I like the universe. I could see why they would release a simplified, more family approachable version of that game because it's not that hard, right? But there's definitely a lot of machinations going on, a lot of planning and sequencing of cards and everything. And I was surprised just how little they actually stripped out for this one. You don't have a hand of cards and the public market. And other than that, most of the stuff
it's
is
pretty much the same.
It is quite similar, I thought.
I like Everdell fine. I don't love it like everyone else does. I think I give it like a 7, like a low 7 for me.
Oh,
It's
okay.
fine. I found that the deck was too big for my taste.
Got
You
it.
need a specific card. It may or may not show up, but I like it fine. I think you
Because
like it the most.
because it's a specific card. Because like Arc Nova has a bunch of cards, but you're not looking for one specific in this one. I mean, I don't want to, call out your, inaccurate thinkings. Or,
Okay, but I mean, I still like Everdell. People ask me all the time about, hey, is this game good for my 6-year-old? And I always say, I don't know, because I don't know your 6-year-old. Kids progress at different ages. That being said, I've taught 6-year-olds. I've had 7 of them. I work with 6-year-olds a lot. I know 6-year-olds, and this game is not for 6-year-olds.
I can pretty definitively agree on that. Oh, is this a good game for my 6-year-old? Probably not.
Yeah.
If you're one of those parents that is playing Lacerda games with your 6-year-old, then yeah, this is great for them.
right, yeah.
Now, again, it's not that complex like
It's
a Saturday
not,
game,
no.
obviously.
No, yeah, but there's...
And the argument is that the game is pretty light and simple, but the simple fact is if there's text in a game, most 6-year-olds can't play it.
Well, and
Period.
I think mechanically, they're going to be able to get the game. They're going to understand because the actions are very simple. Just like in Everdell, it's very simple actions that you can take, as well as they did take the hand of cards out. So you're not also having that...
The motor skills.
Yeah, the motor
part of
skills.
it,
There it is.
yeah.
You don't have that motor skills of holding a card and managing it, right? So I do think mechanically it's probably there for a 6 to 7-year-old. But again, text on the card, looking for the combos and the synergies between the cards, focusing on which goals to do and seeing it's, balancing that strategy of which one is it most advantageous to go for. Oh, you've already got a hold on that. It has the same thing that Everdell does where you have to watch your own tableau, but also be aware of other people's. That's still there in this game. If you want to be competitive in this. And so it does have a younger kid variant in it as well, which pretty much just gives them extra resources in the beginning. And that's it.
I was really surprised about that. They're like, if your kid's younger, give them some more resources.
Give them
when
more
they start.
stuff.
Like, that's not
That
okay.
doesn't help.
That doesn't help them strategize cards, sequence
Right.
which things are more important
Yes.
to get, figure, what I mean? And I think of other games that have done kind of like a family edition, like Agricola is a game that has come out with a family variant, and then they came out with a family edition box. And they didn't call it My Lil Agricola.
Right.
I think that I think this is really good. I think I have a lot of fun playing this, but I do not think it's for 6-year-olds. I currently own a 7-year-old, and she
to be clear.
Yeah, we pay for her. So,
Fair point.
even with that, we still had to be like, okay, which card do you want to buy this? Oh, I can put my worker anywhere. Yeah, but which card do you want to buy? Like, there's a lot of kind of coaching along. And my kid has played games for years now. We don't push games above her pay level, but pay level to
Again, at least you're fair.
yeah, but for the electricity. So this was a bit of a miss for me with what appears to be the target audience.
Yeah.
My son's 8, and even he was kind of like, he was just grabbing resources and paying for them, but he wasn't had any semblance of strategy.
Right. Did he have fun?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
But I mean,
All right.
also, I was there. I wouldn't have given this to him without me. And I know that in the comments, someone's bound to be like, well, my 6-year-old, my 5-year-old got it. We all
Fantastic.
applaud you with a standing ovation. But taking this outside the kid range, let's pretend, okay, that's not a thing. In fact, when we went to PAX, nary a kid was in sight playing this game. Adults everywhere playing this game. And people were talking about whether they liked it or not. I don't even like it. And I'll tell you why. Because while it's not a kid's game, it's boring. I'm really bored by this. There's 7 spots to put workers. Obviously, you do the dice ones first. So you go to those 4 spots. Or I guess eventually you have your own little cards, you put them out there. You buy a good card that helps you out of the choices that you have, which are the resources you have at that point in time. You try to synergize a bit. I don't know. I didn't think Everdell needed to be streamlined.
So to counterpoint that here, I did enjoy this one. I also very much, you said I do enjoy Everdell. I probably like it the most out of everyone here in the office. I really enjoyed this, and I did feel like it gave me that express feeling. If I want to sit down and play Everdell in 20 minutes, by the end of 20 minutes, I'm done with this because I have explored it. 20 minutes, they really hit that. If I'm going to introduce somebody who's maybe closer to the welcoming game kind of end of the hobby gaming here, I would sit down and play with this then first, and then if they liked it, I'd be like, okay, let's take it. So this is a stepping stone. So in that way, it is My Lil, but not My Lil because you are 5. My Lil because you're not in the hobby gaming. You bring this up, so
you're like, it's My Lil Everdell, but I'm not talking about your age. I'm talking about your intelligence.
Yes, that's right. Let me be very clear. So I do think that it did hit, and there is room for this game, and I did enjoy that play as a stepping stone, or I like it and I want that quick feeling of it. It kind of takes Everdell and makes it a filler game. If you have a bigger thing planned, but everyone really loves Everdell, you're waiting for someone else to show up, I'd pull this out and I'd play a round of this as a filler game. Or an introduction to Everdell. So I think it has a place. It's just not the place they were going for.
I agree, because this world is awesome, right? This world, the setting, Bosley's artwork, Andrew Bosley, makes this really neat place come alive. It's very welcoming. And so if I want to play a 20-minute engine-building game and I'm introducing it to people, I could bring this to my family back home and we could have fun playing this. I would have fun. I think that's the difference between, sounds like you just don't really enjoy this product. This is the whole kid discussion aside.
No, it has nothing to do with kids. And I do agree that I mentioned in the overview that I hate those little, I think we all hate those little boxes that hold the components.
Oh, they're so useless.
They're terrible. Okay? Oh. But the rest of the production, amazing. It looks great, art's great, and all that.
Squishy berries.
Oh, there's not enough of them. Okay, I'm done. But there's not enough of them.
You do get flooded with resources. Potentially, you're just sitting there going like, "Oh, I can buy any card," and then that's probably one of my critiques is at the end of the game, if you're doing well, you're like, "Oh, I can afford any card that comes out." Every card here only is 2 points. I buy one and I reveal the 8-point card to you. Right. Those little annoyances that come with games that just have a deck, a market, a river of cards like that.
I would have preferred there to have been an A-B deck with the A cards on top or the B cards used in rounds.
Yeah.
And I see you guys' points about this being a streamlined game, but there's a lot of little streamlined games that I think are fun. This one just was not for me. I'm giving this a 5. But with the caveat, I know other people are going to enjoy it. I would not. I'm putting it in the Dice Tower library. I just want, I just want a more difficult choice, even if it's still an easier choice. I just felt here, I was like, I'll build this, I'll build that. I got the parade. Woohoo.
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 Woo.
All right, I'll go next. I'm not sure where our scores lie exactly.
It's okay.
But I'm giving this one a pretty high score. I'm giving this an 8 because I really have fun with it. It has a few little shortcomings. I think that this is one that my daughter will grow into. Not too far off, right?
Yeah.
This is still a... the nomenclature is funny. I think people would call this more of a family game than a kid's game. This is not something I'd give to my kid and be like, go play this with your friend.
Yes.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be there to supervise and make sure that you're collecting all the stuff you're supposed to and whatnot. But I really like it as a family game. The setting is fun. The world is fun. I think that it completely misses the mark as a My Lil. I think it misses the mark as like a young kid's game.
I'm okay if no one ever calls any game in the history of humanity My Lil again.
I mean, I don't want to jump in. Just real quick. It could have been Welcome to Everdell.
Ooh.
I guess Welcome to is a different game, so I'd have to make sure it's distinct from that.
Welcome in.
Welcome in. Oh, with 2 N's. Welcome in.
Ooh.
Everdell. There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
That took 2 minutes.
Maybe
You
this
guys
shouldn't have
should've
been
taken 2
a surprise that's already out. game. Maybe
what's
they
your
should have
rating?
consulted.
Oh,
you.
sorry. Were you done? I didn't want to.
No,
okay.
I think this might be a bigger discussion.
Yeah, so no, I'm coming in at an 8 as well. I could not quite go to the seal of excellence. I couldn't because it's not what it's marketed incorrectly. Like I feel so strong, and I went through a whole gambit of emotions. The first time I played this, I was angry. I was so mad. I think I texted you. I was like mad texting. I was like, this is not a kid's game. I was so mad.
Which is par for the course, to be fair.
Which is, to be fair, we have a lot of angry texts. But this one, I went in with such high excitement. It showed up out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, it's the game that I didn't know I needed in my life. And it's, I was really excited to be able to share this and what I thought it was marketing towards. And I think a lot of people are going to get got by that. And I was really angry. I was probably, at that point, I think I told you in that text message, I was sitting at like a 4. It was an emotional decision. But as I thought about it and kind of processed, I was like, no, but for Everdell Express, welcome in Everdell. It was enjoyable, and I think it has a great place. I personally enjoyed this. I do think eventually, maybe my son is 10, not a gamer. I played this thinking, hey, I'm going to get it down, introduce him to him. I'm not going to show it to him for a couple years. He also doesn't play, he doesn't. The strategy games are not his realm. But
when there's 5 card types and your kid is asking every time, like, what is the rucksack versus the green one versus the purple versus the red?
Why weren't those cut out? Why wasn't it streamed? So if you want a My Lil, but if you want that stepping stone into Everdell, if you want that Express, that kind of filler feel to Everdell, I had fun with this with that overhead. And so for that, I'm giving it an 8, but I cannot take it into the Seal of Excellence strictly because I think it is mismarketed and it's very confused on what it's trying to do.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with the points that you made there.
Well, there you go. That is My Lil Everdell. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
Welcome, My Lil Dice Tower.
Welcome in
In
Everdell.